welcome to my channel again. So today we'll see that how we can test a React component that contains an API call inside it. Okay, so friend, this is an very common requirement in industry, IT industry, where we have to design a page that on when the page loads, we call an API and then we get some data and then we render it on the page. So same thing, friends, we are doing it here. So when the page loads, I will just reload this page. You can try to see. So see friends, when the page loads, initially the page was empty. Okay, there was no data, but we had called an API, and when the data came from the API succeeded, then we are able to show the data on this page. Okay, so friend, I will show you what API we are calling. So friends, okay, I will open the network tab, friends, and as you can see, we have called this API. Okay, so this API, friend, json placeholder.typecode.com/post, friends, this is an free like API, and this gives us dummy data. Okay, so you can just go to their website and explore this if you want, but anyway we'll see the structure of the response of this API. So friends, this API gives us a array, okay, in response, and that contains 100 posts. Okay, and we will see the structure of the post. Okay, so every post contains a body that this is the body part, friends, we are showing it here, and also every post contains a title that we are showing in the header, friends. Okay, see this, and after that every post have an ID and user ID. So these are the things that have that are available in this every post. Okay, so friends, let's go and see the implementation of the this post component. So friend, this is the post components here. uh, as you can see, there are two states here. So one is post, and which initial whose initial value is, friends, empty array. So initially there is no post, and that is why, friends, when we refresh the page, initially we say white screen. Okay, and then, friends, we have maintained this error state, that error is initially null, and if we encounter error, then we will set it. So friends, what happens when see this use effect hook, when we are this component getting, when this component gets mounted, then what we do, we call this Axios API. Okay, this API that I showed you already in the network tab. This API, when it succeeds, it gives us response in the, and this in the response dot data we have the list of posts. Okay, and we are setting it in the posts. Okay, and if there is a error, then we are setting this thing. Okay, so friend, I have already showed you that if the API succeeds, how we are listing the posts. Now we will do one thing. We will just try to put some random uh, URL here, so that we will get an error, and then we will see how the error works. Okay, so friends, see this. Now there is some error because this is not an correct endpoint, and because of that the API is failing, and we are able to see error. So this, friends, so 404 error. Okay, so there is not found error. Okay, and friends, so you can see when there is an error, we go in this catch block and we set the error as like this value. Okay, some error occurred in fetching post data. We are just hard coding, we are not utilizing the error message from backend for now. For we are just hard coding the error message. Okay, so friends, here as you can see, I have first checked in the JSX part or UI part. I have just first checked that whether an error is present. If there is an error present, then what we do, we will just show this thing. Okay, if the error is not present, then what we will do, we will just list the posts. Okay, post, whatever post we have available, and inside this UI. So I have created this card, and title we are using at post title. Okay, also we have done the numbering with help of this index. Okay, uh, and friends, post dot body is present here. So we are in the card body, we are showing the post body. Okay, so I hope this is clear that what we are doing here. Okay, so we will be writing, friends, a test for this only. So friends, now as you can see, that this code, this like our component calls an API endpoint. Okay, so friends, like when we encounter this kind of components, where, or this kind of code where there is an API call from front end to back end while testing. So friend, we what we do, we do not want to actually call the API. Friends, there are few reasons for this. first reason is that if we call the API to a backend in the test environment, then what will happen is our test will be slow because network calls are slow. Okay, so if the network calls are there, our test will be slow. That we do not want. And in industrial applications, friend, we can actually get like thousands of tests, and if the tests are slow, it will really increase the uh, testing time. Okay, so this we do not want. Okay, so we do not want to increase the testing time. Also, friends, our test case will be very fragile. Okay, so friends, suppose when we run our thousand test cases, it may always happen that there are some API, okay, that failed due to some network issue. Okay, and that because of that our test will be highly unreliable. We cannot rely on them. Okay, so friends, because of that few things, we do not want to actually call this exhaust.get endpoint. Okay, friends, so for this what we will do, we will use a concept called, friends, that is called mocking. Okay, so we will be uh, mocking. Okay, so okay, so we will be mocking this axios in our test. Okay, friends, so what does mocking means, friend? When we will mock this axios, that means, friend, that when the testing will happen and our code comes to this particular line and it sees that axios.get is getting called, so when we have mocked this axios.get, friends, then this actual function will not get called. Instead, a function that we have provided, or like just has provided, will get called, and this line will be skipped. Okay, but whatever we want to send the response, like whatever we want the response from this line, we can set in the mock. Okay, so let's go and start writing the code so that we actually get what we are what I mean, and yeah, so I will create this index.test.js file. Okay, friends, and then we will start our test cases. So first we will in describe we will just put that test post component. Okay, okay, friends, now we will write our first tests. Okay, test. Okay, we will write our first test, and the first test will be it fetches the data from API and shows on UI if there is no error in API. Okay, so friends, if there is no error in the API, then it should fetch the data and show on the UI. Okay, so let's see uh, how we can do that. Friend, first thing what we'll have to do, we'll render our component first. Okay, so we will render this post component first. Okay, now our component got rendered, friends. What we need to do now, or before that, first we will like to mock our axios. Okay, mock axios. So for doing that, friends, what we do, we can just use first we need to import axios. Okay, import axios. Okay, now we can just simply just we can use this mock method of just, and we can call just.mock axios. Now, friends, anything that this inside this axios method or axios object, we can just will not be called. So like okay, so this axios contains axios dot get. Okay, this axios contain get function, but when we will call this axios dot get function, friend, uh, actually this function will not get called, just will not call that actual function. Okay, so while testing, when just will reach this line, it will remove this part axios.get, it will skip, and it will provide its own mock function response. Okay, so let's see how we can define the response that we want to give. So friend, let's come here. First I will want to tell you that since our test contains this API call, then this our test will be async. Okay, so we have to mention async here. Okay, now we have done this, and before since friends, after just when we render, our API call will happen. So just before calling rendering this, what we will do, we will just define the response of the mock. Okay, so what we will do, we will just for this exeus, and what will exeus dot get dot for this mocked exeus friend, what we will do, we will set it gets property, and we'll it's for get property friend, there is a method mock resolved value. Okay, so what it does friends, it will create this get function that will be a promise. Okay, and that we can give the resolved value, that what will be resolved. Okay, so we can friends simply return this data. Okay, not data, since friends here exeus.get, exeus actually returns response in a format that it contains the actual response data in this data. So response, so first I will quickly try to show you the response that we are getting, so that you will understand why we are using the structure that we will use in our test. Okay, so let's see. So okay, so you can see, so inside there is, in response object is actually containing a data attribute, and that data property, and that data property actually contains the list of posts. Okay, so that's why friend, what we need to do here, when we are providing the resolve value for our we will have to use this data. Okay, data property. Okay, and inside data we will first do, we will can give the post id. Okay, so id, let's put it as 1, since this is dummy only, and then title, we can put it my post title. Okay, and then body, uh, uh, my posts body. Okay, so this is the post data. We are only returning only, we are returning only one post. Okay, so now we'll see friends that now we will now that we have done friend. Okay, what we will want to do, that we have resolved, what we want to do friends, we will want to expect we will know before, not like this, we want to like assert that this this body and this title should actually be present in the UI, because we have mocked we have returned this resolved this value. Okay, so let's do one thing, we have to use this await, because we are going to use this wait for function. Okay, from react testing library. So this wait for functions friend, what it does, it we will actually write our assertions inside this wait for. So we will use this expect, and then what we will do, screen dot get by text. Okay, we will get by text, and we will use this particular thing. So friend, we are expecting that our value will be resolved. Okay, this will be the response, our mocked response. So when this response will be provided here, then our post, our UI should contain this particular my post body text. Okay, so that's why we are trying to find element that contains text as my post body. Okay, and then we will expect it dot to be in the document. Okay friends, now what's the use of this wait for and await? So friends, wait for will resolve or reject, this will actually is a promise. As you can see, I have hovered over it, so this promise will resolve or reject based on about this passes or fails. But friends, it will not immediately get rejected. So suppose first time we come and check for this particular condition, but it might fail. Okay, but failing it first time does not mean that our promise will get rejected. So what will it to do, it will do, it will test for like after 50 millisecond, it will test again. Okay, so it will test again that whether this condition passes or not, and it will test few times until the timeout happens. And once friend the timeout happens, then this promise will get rejected, and if this get rejected, then our test will fail. Okay, and if this get resolved, then our test will pass. Okay, so let's see what happens, our test passes or fails. Okay, so I will open the terminal now, and we will just write this npm test. Okay, So friends, our test already passed. Okay, okay, now our one of the test has failed. Okay, so let's see. Okay, this is there. Okay, 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 let's see how get by text is not a function. Oh, okay friends, so we have not actually imported a screen here, so let's do that. Yeah, so let's try to see if this time it passes or not. Okay friends, so you can see all tests passed. Okay, and here we are also able to see the coverage. But before that, now that our test has passed friend, you okay, so we will we have tested the case where our API, we are resolving like we are resolving the promise. Okay, we will also want to friend test the scenario. Okay, when our API fails. Okay, and when our API fails, we would want this error message, this error message, some error occurred in fetching post data, to be in the document. So we'll have to do that also. So friends, how we can see that what are the lines that we have already covered friends, so and what are the lines that those are not covered, so that is called friends coverage. So in a coverage of a test, uh, we will be able to see that what lines are actually covered. So you can see this is coverage friends. So it is saying that of 62% of the statements in all files are covered. Okay, so this counter in counter index.js 85.71% of the statements have been covered. Okay friends, so this is also friends, we have good in if you come and if you run the coverage. So for running the coverage, I will show you how we do that. So friends, for running coverage inside our this is packet.json, we come inside our this scripts, and where this test is there in we just add hyphen coverage at the end. Okay friends, this hyphen coverage at the end. Okay, now this will create this coverage like information here, and also it creates this coverage folder where this inside this lcov report we will be able to find this index.html. I will just try to reveal it in Finder, and then I will just open it in the browser. So you can see we are able to see this. Okay, files. Okay, so I will open this file, and as you can see index.txt. So see, we have already covered this condition where we are showing post. Okay, but this particular condition is not covered it, as you can see statement not covered, and it is in red. Okay, because in our test friend we have not created a case that in which our test our API is failing. Okay, so we'll have to create that, and because this error is not being set, this alert is not getting rendered. So you will see here that this branch is not covered. Okay, this error true branch is not covered. So friends, we will have to write a test case for that also to create 100% coverage. Okay, so we will write our next test here. Okay, and here what we will do, it shows error if API fails. Okay, so friends, uh, okay, so what we can do, we will just write our async test again, because there is API call involved, and then yeah. So first we will do, what we will do friend, this time instead of resolving, what we will do, for exist.get we will just mock reject value, rejected value. Okay, mock rejected value. Okay, so this will now reject our promise. Okay, so this exist.get will be rejected. Okay, and when this will be rejected, then what will happen friends, our code here will reach in this catch block. Okay, and this error will be set. Okay, so now after we have done this, let's do this render our post again. Okay, okay, and then what we can do, we can await, do the await same await again, and this time not this, but what we would like to find in the document, what we expect to be in the document. Actually we want this particular um, thing. Okay, this particular text, some error occurred in fetching post data friend, this should be in the document. Okay, so let me do that, and we can just expect this to be there. Okay, and now we can, what we can do, we will run our test again. Okay, so this time also all test passed, okay. And also let's see friends, after awaiting this, let's do one thing, let's log this, okay, in the testing playground and see, okay. Log into testing playground, okay. First we will try to see that how our test looks in the how our rendered component looks in the UI, okay. So I will just open. So friends, yeah, you can see this is the our UI rendered UI, okay, when we have rejected the exist.get, okay. Now um, what we will do, uh, friends, we will just remove no, not remove, we will just go to our this coverage, okay, this coverage report, okay, and we will refresh. So friends, as you can see, now this line is also covered, and you will see that for this we have 100% coverage. So see this, for our post we have 100% coverage. So this is how we can attain 100% coverage for our test, friends, okay. And now you also know that how do we mock Axios, okay. How can we mock a code so that it will not be called actually in the uh, testing, when the testing runtime. So when test is running, that particular code will not be called, okay, not be run, okay. And after that we can simply mock its behavior. So here what we have done in line number 10, we have mocked the axios.get behavior as like resolved, and we have provided the expected data. And here what we have done, here what we have done is we have rejected. So we have simulated an API fail, and here we have simulated, and by this we are not calling or depending on any actual API, or we are not depending on the dependent on the backend also, friends, okay. And our tests are also false. We do not need to wait for response from a API, okay. So friends, I hope I was able to explain you that how we do testing when API calls are involved in React application, okay. So friends, thank you, and we will see meet in next video soon, okay. Please like and subscribe, okay. And also you can, friend, always comment in the comment box if you have any questions. I will surely answer, okay friends. So yeah, thank you.